Hello and welcome to Happy Cells and Souls. My name is Julie Powers and I'm a licensed Zumba instructor and I am an affiliate with the Juice Plus company. And I believe that life is better when you're dancing through it. And I'm also out here to inspire healthy living around the world. But my expanded mission is to create better health at the cellular level and more joy at the cellular level, because we only get one body while we're here, so we have to take care of it. And we're also supposed to live in joy and spread light and love in the world. And that is why I love doing these videos, because I get to talk to the people that I've met throughout my life, the ones who bring more light and love and joy into the world and impact the world in positive ways. And so one of the people that we get to meet is my friend, Claire Callanan. Now, Claire, I met you about 9 years ago. And through our affiliation with the Juice Plus company, because we're both out there inspiring healthy living. But what I love about what you do, and you're retired now as a certified massage therapist who specialized in lymphatic drainage. That was something that I really didn't know much about until I met you, because I'd only really heard about it from my friends and family members and acquaintances who had had breast cancer and had lymphatic issues and drainage issues after their mastectomies or whatever. And so I would love for you to, first of all, you're from France, you ended up in the United States. And if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you ended up here, and how you decided to go into massage therapy and lymphatic drainage.
Yes, Julie, thank you. It is a fascinating subject. So absolutely, I'm French. I do have an accent. I came here when I was 28 years old, and I have 2 children that have been born here. And so because it was over 30 years ago, I'm about 60 years old now, and I love this country. And I came about lymphatic drainage after I was really sick and I had issues, and I really wanted to give back. And in France, of course, we do have a lot of practitioners that do work with the lymphatic system, but in the United States, it's still kind of not very well known, as you mentioned, and unless someone has had a huge issue, then the doctor says, well, you have a problem with your lymph nodes. And most people think we just have lymph nodes here. I have a little chart over there that shows that, yes, it's there, but it's everywhere in the body. And there's not one place where the lymphatic is not circulating. And so that became fascinating to me. So I decided to become, I was already a massage therapist, to become more well-versed in the lymphatic system, found a school, and then a whole new world appeared to me. And that's why we're here tonight.
Right. So can you explain what is the lymphatic system? What do the lymph nodes even do in the body besides get sick and cause lots of problems for people? They actually have a purpose other than that. So what is it?
Yes. So first of all, what does it look like when we have a little cut before the blood? We have that kind of like sticky whitish fluid that becomes really hard when it dries and starts forming a scab over the skin. So it's really our protection. It's really totally part of the immune system. And so its job as a clear fluid, it's to really play like Pac-Man. And whenever we have dyes from the foods, viruses, the T cells go after them and then pushes all the debris into the lymphatic system. And a healthy lymphatic system, it's really able to move everything through, that we can discard all those toxins. So that's in a nutshell how it works.
Right.
And as you see behind me here, you have a lot of vessels that are in black, and they're not blood, but they're very parallel to the blood system. The blood system has those arteries, those veins, those little peripheral blood vessels, but the lymphatic system works pretty much the same way, although it's clear.
Right. Okay. Very cool. Very, very cool. And so if this clear liquid is moving through our body, my understanding is that it doesn't get to do that on its own. And as we were talking right before I hit the record button, the heart has the pumping mechanism to pump the blood throughout the body, but the lymphatic system does not have a pump. And so we actually have to pump it for our bodies. So how does that work?
Well, since we were born, we have a very well functioning system. We have those little lymphangiones. They're kind of little like eyelashes that are inside of those vessels, and they're pushing
Oh no,
the
we're
junk we
getting
talked
locked up.
about
Hang
into
on a
the
second. We just
lymph
had a frozen screen. You were talking about the little eyelash.
Yes, so those little eyelash, like those little lymphangiones, are pushing the lymph through, as well as all the toxins. The lymph nodes are destroying them, and then through the liver, and then we just basically, it goes all the way to the bladder, and we excrete all of those toxins. Some of them go through the sweat glands, and the system's very happy because when we're a baby, or we're moving around, we're jumping later on, we're swimming, we're doing all kinds of things that are moving the lymphatic system. But like what happens when we're older, we start to be more sedentary in front of TV, whatever, the computer, and the lymphatic system has a real hard time functioning as well as when we were younger.
Right.
So
So I was told that to keep my lymphatic system moving properly and draining properly, I needed to move a lot. Because I'm a Zumba instructor, I do a lot of movement, a lot of things with my arms, my legs. I do a lot of different things, but there are some specific motions and specific activities that can help the lymphatic system drain better than just dancing. So can you explain how that works and what somebody might want to do, especially if they're not going to come dance with me? What would they do?
well, they should come and dance with you, because dancing is very important here, and don't stop. This is key. So yes, you can do other things, of course, too. So basically, mini trampoline is really great. Swimming is my favorite. Why? Because when you swim, you just splash the water around, and when you do, you create a movement around the superficial lymph, and you really trigger a lot of movement. And one other thing that's super important for your lymph to keep it happy: drink lots of water.
Yes, yes. Because the dehydration would not just affect the blood, but it would affect the lymph as well. And you said it's a clear liquid, so that should help people make that connection between drinking clear liquid and helping that clear liquid stay as liquefied as possible and not getting all gunky and, dried out. So when somebody has something that goes wrong, so let's say they do have a cancer diagnosis, or what are some of the other illnesses that might result in lymph node problems or drainage issues that might need some troubleshooting, and what can be done?
So any post-surgery, you're going to have acute inflammation due to the cuts from the surgery, which is normal. Every time you have acute inflammation, your lymphatic system is having a hard time. Its first response is to swell, to protect the body, and to try to create, through the clear fluid, a protection around the incision, the area that has been. But anybody who is creating inflammation in their body, you have a toothache, you have inflammation, well, you do not want to trigger your lymphatic too much while you're in treatment with antibiotics or other medication. But when the inflammation starts to go down, it's where you can really do so many things for your body to heal faster.
Right. So tell me how that works, Claire. So let's say I get a cut, and the lymph liquid, or whatever, the lymph itself is coming into that area. Is it pulling it from other parts of the body and it's all just collecting there? Or does it create more, like it just starts increasing in volume? How does that work?
Totally. It's kind of like the T cells. You have an infection, the T cells know to go to the infection site and just englobe the area and just work with it.
Mhm.
The lymphatic system works just like the blood. If you have a cut, you'll draw blood and lymph, and the lymph will just try to get everything that was not sealed anymore, got into the body, bacteria, little debris, and will try to just get everything out by leaching out of
Right.
the body. And just like the blood, pretty much.
Okay, we had another little freeze up on the internet there. I don't know what's happening with the connection, but we will figure this out. I'm guessing that there are, as you said, a lot of massage therapists that know quite a bit about the lymphatic system, and they know specific ways to do the massage, but also physical therapists and other practitioners would also be aware of this. Is this in connection with craniosacral therapy? Is the craniosacral using the lymphatic system, or is that a completely different?
Well, so it's a difficult question to answer. It's a great question, though. So the lymph being everywhere, whenever you get a massage, whenever you work with the blood system, or whenever you work with the parasympathetic, you're working also with lymph. So in other words, there are a lot of therapists out there who don't even know much about lymph, but they're working with lymph.
Right.
Whenever you work with the fascia, you release tensions, you just massage your arm because it's hurting, you're moving lymph.
Okay.
Now, of course, there's moving lymph effectively and more effectively. When you do have someone who's really well trained and does the bandaging post lymph nodes removal and cancer surgery, etc., those therapists are so in tune, because it's very fine tuning with the system, with the lymph system, that they will be able to reabsorb all the swelling without in a much faster way.
Because of the way that they're
Without
wrapping, they're using specific wraps in
and
a
draining
very
technique.
specific way to keep it from going in certain areas and reducing the inflammation. Is that what
Correct.
you're saying?
So yes, so basically what I'm saying too is, if you have a normal body and you're a little bit under the weather and you want to trigger your lymphatic system, go see a massage therapist, physical therapist. They will help you. If you do have more really specific issues with your lymphatic system, make sure that they know exactly what they're doing, because now you're going from general feel better massage into something more specific. Okay, now my body is very swollen, my lymph nodes and my lymphatic system has been damaged. So now we want to have a therapist who really is going to help and not damage further, because
Right.
it can also damage your lymphatic system.
So is there something that you need to watch out for on our own, that we don't damage our lymphatic system? And I'm guessing that it's, you need to eat properly, you need to drink a lot of water, you need to stay away from all the processed foods and all of the things, like you said, the dyes and the chemicals that are in the food, toxins that are in our air that can affect that. Are there any other specific things that people should make sure that they avoid so that they don't damage or decrease the effectiveness of their lymphatic system?
Well, you pretty much summarized it all very well. I
Woo!
think says an apple a day keeps the doctor away. If you feed your body properly, if you are gentle and avoid all of the sugary, all the things that are not really nourishing the body, but just is a feel good, you're going to do a lot of good for your body, and it will go for a very long time. If you've already done some things to your body that are not the best, there is always, that's the fantastic part of the body. It is very forgiving, and once you start going back on the healthier way, it's going to catch up and it's going to respond better. Meaning you're going to be less tired, because again, being part of the immune system, if you're tired, usually you'll have a very sluggish lymphatic system. That usually is a good sign of, hey, your lymphatic system is not happy.
Right, right. And that's one thing that we learn, right, as part of the community that we're in, is that, when people have like a headache, it's not because they have a Tylenol deficiency. It's probably because they have a problem that can be fixed without any kind of medication. They're either dehydrated, or maybe their lymphatic system is a little out of balance, or they haven't had enough sleep, or whatever it is, but it's probably not because they have a medication deficiency. And so just taking care of these systems in the body is one way to always stay in the healthiest form possible, right? I mean, there's always going to be stuff that we cannot control. But if we do have some steps that we can take. And I'm wondering, are there any like really simple things that we can do, like movements on our face or on our neck, that we should do kind of periodically, or is that not a big deal?
Well, again, great question. And the answer is, in the anatomy, we were given everything. So whenever I like loofahs in the shower, because that will just give you a sense of very light brushing. And the way our anatomy is done, well, we're going to brush here, we're going to brush this way. All of those movements we do all over the body, it's already exactly the way the lymphatic system should be triggered. Isn't it interesting?
Right,
So it's
right.
not like you're going to have to go on your head and just, it's very simple. Just the way we're supposed to just wash is already a super way to have a great response for the lymphatic system to be able to move faster and move the toxins out.
That's good. That's good to know. I know that whenever I moved years ago to like an all natural deodorant, for instance, one of the options was in a jar, and it was a paste. And one of the really good things about that was when you put your finger in the paste and you rub it under your arm, you're actually stimulating that lymphatic system. And you're doing that very short, simple massage, probably in an area that you've already washed, but then you do it again when you put on this deodorant. And so I'm thinking about other things that we can do that are just very simple. Maybe even it's just how many times we kind of brush our hair, or put some lotion on our arms, or whatever it might be. Or if you can get your special person, your special partner, to rub your feet and your arms and your hands and all those things, that would be another way to do it.
Yes, and again, the body is very logical, and taking care of the body doesn't mean we have to do things that are crazy.
Right. We don't have to
Again,
stand on our head and make our feet go in different directions. We can
that's
just
right.
do what we do,
We don't
right?
need to. I mean, we can ask my daughter. She's a circus artist and she plays bat, you know,
Oh,
with
cool.
the circus, but we don't have to go that way. I don't.
Yeah, I don't think I could go that way. So we have just like 2 minutes left, Claire, and I would just love to give you an opportunity to share anything else that maybe I haven't known to ask, because we don't know what we don't know. So we don't know the questions to ask sometimes. And if there's something that you think is really important to share with whoever might be watching this, I'd love for you to do that now.
Well, again, going back to common sense, I think whether you choose your doctor, your physical therapist, your massage therapist, your nutritionist, whoever you want to work with, the person who does your nails, you have to have a comfort level and a personal relationship that goes beyond just the therapist or the healthcare professional, and have that sense that you can ask any question that's important to you and it will be answered in an ethical and correct way.
Right.
And if you do have a good relationship with those people that you choose to partner with, you're already in a really good space. Use your intuition. Go for a second opinion if you don't feel comfortable with what whoever said what, and be curious and have fun with it, because the more we learn, the more there is to learn, and the more the body is so fascinating.
It is so fascinating. It was so miraculously created, and that we can heal so many things within us if we just treat it properly. So thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and your smile. And I feel honored to know you. And I look forward to meeting up with you again in person soon. And I will include some contact information with the text that accompanies this video for anybody who might like to reach out to Claire personally for any questions, because she is a wonderful resource and is happy to help. Thank you.